Hey everyone. I know it's been a few weeks since my last upload. I think the last one was my Lava Sweep 3.0, which got around 3K views. Like, thanks for that. But before diving into today's video, I just want to express my gratitude for literally all the support you guys have shown on the channel. I remember when I was pumping out daily videos, creating all these crazy builds and doing raid trials, and I'm super stoked that a lot of you guys enjoyed the content that I was releasing. I want to be upfront. This isn't me saying that I'm like quitting Ascension or bashing the game, but honestly, I'm out of video ideas. I'd love to keep making content, but right now the game just feels really dry and kind of boring to me. I've been keeping up with the updates, but nothing really feels like it's altering the content in a meaningful way. Even with Molten Core just launching on Koa, it still doesn't feel like it's enough. The level 60 launch for, and ZG release for Koa felt kind of weak to me. And I think that's when Koa was at its strongest. I mean, unfortunately, they dropped the ball a bit, and with all the balancing and nerfs at the start of the raid tier, and I know things are more balanced now, but I'm just not motivated to make videos at the moment. I don't want to criticize Ascension too harshly, because I know the developers have worked really hard to get the game where it is. I mean, they've done a lot to make it as fair as possible, but in my opinion, the policing things is a bit much. I don't want to influence the game negatively, because I'm just one player. I'm not a voice for the community, and I wouldn't want any changes to be made because some fucking dude made a video on it and then I end up getting blamed for some shitty changes. But there are definitely things that could be done differently, and I'll touch up with some of that stuff throughout the video. First off, the class balancing and nerfs in both Koa and Alune. I mean, I think honestly they were just handled super poorly. I know I played a big part in the Lava Sweep wave, and a lot of players use that build with their one button macros and whatnot. The nerfs were deserved. Like, I get it. Like, everything aside from the ability being hit in itself. But I don't understand why they don't take the opposite approach and buff some of the dead builds to bring more variety to the game. I can only think of a few good DPS specs that pull 45 to 50k single target, while there's tons of builds out there that really need the boost. And I get that fun is pretty subjective, and not every build needs to be meta, but it's also not fun being gatekept from an Ascended raid because your cool spec doesn't pull its weight. The numbers your build puts out is part of the game, and when you come up with a creative build that doesn't perform, it's disheartening, and you just end up feeling forced to play like this meta build just to experience all the content because you have that fear of being left out. If I didn't have like the Lava Sweep build and had settled for something that only did like 35k single target, there wouldn't be nearly as many videos on the channel. Like, people just want to see a meta build looks like and how to achieve it, and not just a cool idea that doesn't deliver. And I'm usually not one to point out issues without offering a solution, but honestly, this is what I've been seeing push a lot of players to quit. It's not the only thing making me feel this way, but it's hard to stay motivated when seems to be like this huge content drought. I haven't even touched MC and Koa yet, and just thinking about it just makes me not want to play. Aside from that, I don't think I'm burnt out of the game completely. It's just really giving me a hard time to figure out what kind of content I want to create and how I'm going to be able to deliver it in a way that people can enjoy it. I mean, I can upload me playing different classes and doing Mythic Plus and Molten Core, but like, honestly, how long is that going to last before people get, think it's boring? And as someone who watches YouTube, I couldn't see that being any more entertaining for more than like 1 or 2 videos. And I don't want to make this like a super long video. I don't want to seem like I'm whining or any of that, but I don't want people thinking like I just disappeared, like I'm still here, like I'm still well, I'm still streaming like every day that I can. I still stream Ascension when I can, and I'm always answering questions for players who need that little bit of help with their build or just understanding how to function on Ascension in general. And I also want to reiterate, this isn't a jab towards the devs because I know it could be pretty hard functioning like off of a small team with, you know, a project that has a lot of players on it. So big shout out, respects, you know, to the boys and laddies and all of them, you know, Greg, Kaladin, Two-Tailed Titan, Zen, and everyone else over there that has been a huge contribution to, you know, the grind that I've had, you know, making stuff, you know, like videos and streaming the game. Again, this isn't me quitting, just giving you guys a head check from me to let you know, where I'm at, and like I'm trying to figure out how to give you guys my best. I appreciate all the support, the love, and the contributions, you know, to the community. I hope you guys like really just take this with a grain of salt. You know, like the game's in a poor state. Like it definitely needs help, and I know there's going to be people who think, oh, it's just because your build's not doing 80K. It's a little bit more than that. There's not a lot of content to do. There's no exciting updates that are upcoming. I mean, there's little balances here and there, but it's just for builds that aren't even in like that circle. You know what I mean? And I think that circle is what's causing like a huge divide between like the players that are doing the raid trials and the players who aren't. You know, the people who take the game a little bit further and the people who log on once or twice a week, you know, for a couple hours to do whatever the fuck they do. I think this game just needs to get expanded. I think, honestly, like, I think content should be pushed a little bit quicker. I know that they're kind of following, like, the vanilla, like, you know, 3 to 4 months between each tier set. At least that's what it feels like 2 to 3. The way that we progress through content, like, I remember when, like, Encourage Temple came out, right? It was like first 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we're ready for Nax. You know what I mean? Like we were pumping so much damage, and like we just get through it so fast. And I'm not saying 3 weeks and then hit us with a new content thing every month, but like there can't be 3 or 4 months in between each of these tiers. Like there need like 2 months, month and a half at max. Like that's like where it needs to be, because honestly, like for players like me or players that are who are doing like Ascended or doing like high mythic pluses, like we hit this wall where it's like, okay, we've done it all. What do we do now? There's nothing else to do. And with the way that the balances happen and the way that they look at classes and the way that they look at builds, it's not worth going out to try to find that, 40 to 45K build just for it to get nerfed. Not to mention the other, 3 or 4 builds that are doing, let's just say like 65, 70K. Like now those are being looked at as an issue when it's really not. I mean, there's always going to be like those few classes that do like high performing damage, but the difference between like then, just look at like before chapter 2, back in chapter 1, you had like WoW and Imps and stuff. There was still like a lot of builds that were doing like above average DPS. There was like 8 or 9 that were doing 30, 40K, and then there was like another 15 builds that were doing sub 30, above 20K. Like that's good, right? I mean, there's going to be that line of like meta, but at least there was other options that weren't falling too far behind. Now it just feels like there's like 3 builds, and then it's like 90, 80K, and then it goes all the way, and it's like the next build like performs at like 35K. That's just, I don't know. There's too much of a gap there, and I just don't see why like the devs haven't seen that as like a content quality issue. But again, this isn't a job. This is more or less just me just updating like the channels. I mean, the channel could die. I don't fucking know. This isn't me like just not doing content, like me like completely giving up. I'm going to try to make content for a couple other things. Just try to have fun with it. I'll still come out with a couple Ascension videos and whatnot and see where they go. And maybe I'll have a content idea, after this video. Who knows? I don't know what's going to happen. I just want to make sure you guys don't think I'm fucking deceased. But aside from that, I appreciate all the support. I appreciate all the love that you guys give me. I hope you guys all have a wonderful rest of your day or night or whenever you watch this. You can still go back and you can go watch all of my videos before this. They're pretty entertaining. I worked pretty hard editing them. Subscribe so you know when I upload the next video. And maybe comment some ideas that I can do for content. Maybe I just need to be pointed in the right direction. I appreciate all you guys. And I really hope, I really do, I hope I see you guys in the next video. Peace.